Every other ape goes outside naked and fine. We are the only one that puts on clothes. And here is the part that should surprise you. We may have started wearing clothes around 170,000 years ago. That number sounds made up, so hold on. The proof is not a shirt. Real clothing almost never survives in the dirt, so we read the wardrobe through what lived in it. That is older than farming, older than art, older than almost everything we call human. So who decided the naked ape needed a wardrobe and why? We are the only primate that routinely covers up, and we have done it longer than you think. This is not a fashion story. It is a survival story with a tiny, creepy witness. The witness is small, itchy, and accidentally honest about our past. Evolution leaves receipts, and this one is crawling on our seams. Tonight we follow the evidence, a humble louse that ratted out our wardrobe history. The real reason we needed clothes, the fact that we dressed long before we owned needles. What the first outfit probably looked like, and the social twist where clothes stopped being just for warmth. Clothes rot. After 170,000 years, not one shirt survives in the ground. So how do we know when clothing began? The best witness is the body louse. Body lice live in the seams of clothing, not on skin or hair like head lice do. A body louse cannot survive on bare skin the way a head louse can. It needs fabric to grip and lay eggs, so the fabric had to exist first. They evolved from head lice, and when head lice and body lice split, that split marks the birth of clothing. Think of it as a family tree with a branch date we can estimate. The branch only appears once some lice moved from hair into clothes. Genetic studies of that split point to roughly 170,000 years ago, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Geneticists count the mutations that built up since the split. The count is rough, so treat 170,000 as a ballpark, not a receipt. It is not a clean clock. Lice evolve on their own schedule, but it is our sharpest clue. The clothes are gone, the louse remembers. Every modern wardrobe is a sequel to that first fur wrap. The bug has been riding along for longer than we like to admit. Now the why. Most people assume clothes appeared when humans fled Africa into the cold. But 170,000 years ago, humans were still mostly in Africa, which is warm. Africa then was warm, but not cozy at night or up in the hills. Warm does not mean comfortable for a hairless ape after dark. So cold was not the whole story. Clothes likely helped with sun, biting insects and scratches. Sun can burn pale skin, and bites can make a forager miserable. A wrap is shade and armor at once, long before it is fashion. They also helped with the chill of cool nights and cool highlands. And remember, we had already lost most of our body hair by then. We are odd mammals, most stay furry their whole lives. Losing fur likely helped us run in the heat without overheating. Less fur means we cooled well while moving, but we got cold fast when we rested. Sweat cools bare skin far better than a furry coat would. But the trade was simple: great movers, terrible resters in the cold. Clothes patched the hole our missing fur left. We did not gain clothes for fashion first. So the wrap was not vanity. It was a patch for a body we had changed. Nature took the fur off, and we sewed the fix back on. We gained them to not freeze between sprints. Hairless skin is great for running in the heat and terrible for sitting still. A fur wrap was the cheapest way to fix that without growing the fur back. Here is the twist that breaks the cartoon version. The first-eyed needles show up only around 40 to 50,000 years ago. For over 100,000 years, we dressed without a needle. That alone should kill the cartoon of a caveman in a stitched jacket. Clothing is older than that by over 100,000 years, so the earliest clothes were not tailored. They were wraps and furs, tied or knotted with sinew. Sinew from an animal tendon makes a tough natural thread. A good knot held a hide on through a long cold night. Think less jacket, more bundled hide. Scrapers for cleaning hides go back hundreds of thousands of years. Cleaning a hide is messy work with a sharp stone scraper. Those scrapers sit in sites hundreds of thousands of years old. So the tool kit for making crude clothing was there long before the sewing needle. We dressed well before we could sew a straight seam. No needle means no tidy hem, but a wrap still keeps you alive. Survival does not require a straight stitch. Needles were a luxury that arrived more than 100,000 years late. Until then, a good knot did the job of a zipper. A knot is low-tech, but faster than weaving a closet. Early humans were practical, not fashionable. So what did the first outfit look like? Probably a draped animal skin. Picture a single skin thrown over one shoulder. Functional, reusable, and the start of everything after. Maybe tied at the shoulder or waist, worn for warmth and protection. Tailoring as we know it, fitted and sewn garments, appears much later. The famous Sungir burials, about 30,000 years old, show elaborate clothing covered in thousands of beads. This was clothing as ceremony, not just cover. Even then, the beads say more about status than about cold. That gap tells the story. For most of clothing's history, it was functional wrapping. Decoration shows up late, once survival was handled. First we stayed alive, then we dressed to impress. Only later did it become craft, status, and art. The wardrobe was survival first, statement second. Beads turned a wrap from useful into impressive. A bead takes real time to make, so it signals spare effort. Effort spent on looks is itself a kind of wealth. The Sungir cape was less coat and more resume. And that is the social twist. Once everyone had basic wraps, clothes started signaling who you were. Once wraps were normal, the next move was to show difference. Clothes turned from shield into signal almost everywhere. Better pelts, more beads, a distinct cut. These said rank, group, or readiness. Clothes became a language before writing existed. We dressed to belong and to stand out at once. Long before letters, an outfit told your story. You could read a stranger's role from across a fire. The same outfit could say, "I am your kin, and I outrank you." Clothing may be the oldest social media we have. So why did humans start wearing clothes? Not for one reason. We lost fur, we needed a patch, the louse moved in. Slowly the wrap became a wardrobe, and then a signal. We did not invent fashion. Fashion invented us, one fur at a time. Every shirt you own is a 170,000-year-old habit wearing a new label. The louse is still along for the ride, just harder to see. Next time you pick an outfit, thank a louse for the receipt. Which surprised you most? The 170,000-year date, the no-needle clothes, or clothes as our first language? Drop a number in the comments, and subscribe for more of who ancient humans really were.